All right, all right. Happy Sunday, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is for you. Feel free to throw some music on your end. I'm putting mine on. Not afternoon yet, Linda. Happy Sunday, Nancy. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Hi, Ryan. Hey, Deb. Hi, Tina. Good to see you all. What's up, Deborah in Massachusetts? Welcome to your Sunday service. Speaking of Sunday service, I joined a gym here, and I guess it's a Christian gym because they got little quotes from the Bible all over the walls. And it was a really good idea because when I go on, I guess everybody goes to church and then goes to brunch. Or are Christians not allowed to work out on Sunday? I don't know, but I get the whole gym to myself. There's not even a front desk guy. I get in with my fingerprint. It's always nice to have the gym to yourself. You guys ever get that? Hello, Karsten in Germany. Hello, Meliakua. Cool lights, huh, Donna? Yeah, I got these for Sarah for her TikTok, but they look so cool in here too. I had to repurpose them. We got Nina, also from Massachusetts. Tina says, looking forward to your new YouTube vids. Yeah, I got 2 up this weekend. You should check them out. Maybe not today if you're already getting your Qigong, but yeah, I got one called 3 Forces Qigong. So that's like working with the 3 dantians. And that's like a really nice like stretch and flow. It's a little bit, it's kind of athletic sort of Qigong movements and stuff. So it's a pretty nice like lower body workout and stretch and opening and everything. And then the second one was sort of like a calisthenics mixed with Qigong. So it's kind of like an upper body and core workout plus some like Qigong flow to like cool it down at the end and stretching and stuff like that. So if you're looking for a little more of a workout, Qigong, we get so strong in the lower body, right? But you don't really do much at all for upper body. So nice to throw one of those routines in now and then. Hello, Inga from Sweden. Always cool to see all the wild places people are calling in from. YouTube makes this pretty fun. I'm actually going to throw my phone on this little tripod and see if I can stream this to TikTok as well. In the meantime, while I'm setting this up, you guys feel free to throw any suggestions or requests you have in the chat. Always happy to customize the class for you. I went from 0 to 30,000 TikTok followers in like 2 weeks. So it's been kind of a weird, wild ride there. All right. See if I can stay in frame. Always harder with the vertical phone. All right. Let's see. I see teacups, neck and shoulder pain. Glad you liked yesterday's video, Evan. Nervous system and IT bands. Yeah, those are you really got to think about stretching the IT bands if you're going to try and do them, eh? Doesn't really just happen. So we'll get some nice IT band opening. Something for the knees, neck and shoulders, and spin. Is that spine? I think that's probably spine. How do you access the videos I just talked about? They're just on my YouTube. So if you, I don't know, there's probably a button somewhere around here to go to my channel. So if you just go to my channel homepage, they'll be like right at the top. The world discovers Nick. I know, right? How lucky for the world. Okay, we got some people joining on TikTok. So we're doing a live flow class, just so you guys know. So we're going to move. Stretching, please. Hello, Saratoga. All right, let's get ourselves ready. Find your space. Get standing up. Get standing up. We'll just start with some joint opening. So we're just going to start with our wrists. Circling the wrists, circling the hands. What do we say in Qigong? Hinges of an active door never rust. So we're putting in that WQI 40. Bulging lumbar disc, anything to help would be great. I would think more about just not hurting it more. You got a bulging disc. Try to do things pretty gently. Let's go the other direction. Movement's usually helpful for that kind of stuff, but obviously you don't want to overdo it. It might cause it to bulge even more. Opening the wrist. Oh, hello from Brazil. All right, palms face up, give it a little shake. Palms face down. Open up those wrists. We're going to move to the elbows. You're going to bring one palm onto the elbow joint. The other hand is going to go up through that little hole in the arms and out and around. Going up through the hole, out and around. And the hand that's on the elbow is just going to circle around the elbow. So you're going to try to keep contact with the palm. Move a little friction around the elbow joint. WQI 40, that's hilarious, right? I can't take credit for that. I stole like a lot of cheesy jokes from my Qigong teacher. Lee is the master of cheesy jokes. Let's go the other direction. You're going to go down through the hole, back up and out. You notice I'm still kind of circling the wrist here. So getting a wrist and elbow opening. That friction with the hand bringing some blood into the elbow joints, heat. Go to the other side. Up through the hole, out. And still flex the wrist joint. Some friction with that hand on the elbow. See, we got comments on TikTok too. I can't join now, but tag me in your next live section. Cool. I don't know if anybody's down to do a whole hour of Qigong on TikTok. Might be a weird platform for it. But feel free to join for an exercise or two. Go the other direction. Yeah, that video that went viral on TikTok, it's at 950,000 plays now. So probably be at 1 million in a couple days. So weird. Let's shake it out. I was joking. I've been making like a ton of effort on Instagram for like 8 years, and I have like 2,000 followers. On TikTok, it was like a day of effort, and I got like 30,000. Let's give it a circle with the shoulders. Circle the shoulders, roll them back. We do something for hand tremors and epilepsy. You know, I don't think there's anything super specific to do for that. I think Qigong in general is going to help that. Qigong's quite healing for the nervous system. So once we get to our slow flows later, that could be helpful. All right, relax. Let's move on to the spine. Bring the hands on the thighs, send your hips back, chest forward, and send the hips forward, lean the chest back. Just our basic spinal wave. Hips go back, hips press forward. Really think of the hips as driving the motion here. Hips go back, hips push forward. That pushes the wave up the spine. Dropping the chin at the bottom, lifting the chin at the top. So the neck and head are also involved in this wave. And nice and open in all our joints. Good. Let's bring in the arms here, opening shoulders and wrists as well. Call this the white crane. Back of the hands towards each other. Draw in. Back of the hands float out. And then turn the palms face up as we draw in. So the hips and hands are kind of opposite here. So hips go forward, hands go back. Hips go back, hands go forward. Sort of a whip-like motion. Think of the wave coming up from the legs, feet, hips, spine, and then continuing out the arms and neck. Really nice sort of full body opening here. Okay, they're going to bring it in. Press it down, spread the feathers, pressing with your palms about 45 degrees. Lift up through the crown of your head. And take your head over to one side, bring that stretch up into the neck, and just give the head a slow nod over the shoulder. Something I just remembered for Parkinson's is, I believe it's often related to a dopamine deficiency. So you might try elevating the dopamine by megadosing vitamin K. Vitamin K suppresses prolactin, which is the hormone that prolactin suppresses your dopamine. So the lower your prolactin is, the higher your dopamine is. Vitamin K is a pretty safe vitamin. You can take a lot of it without any side effects. So you might just Google that. I really like the Thorn vitamin K liquid supplement. You can really take a lot of it, a lot cheaper than most other supplements. Just comes in a little dropper bottle. Let's go to the other side. Nod the head over the shoulder. Look for the stretch from the neck down the arm. So I sometimes people who are prescribed antipsychotics are often also given Parkinson's medication, because antipsychotics often work by suppressing dopamine. Part of the theory is that excess dopamine causes psychosis. So they give a dopamine suppressant, but sometimes the side effect of that is then tremors and Parkinson's-like symptoms. So often they'll give an anti-Parkinson's medication just as a prophylactic along with the antipsychotic. All right, release that, give it a shake. Very nice. Just going to read your comments quick. Okay. All right, let's take the hands on the hips. We'll move a little lower, circle the hips. Always a nice one. This always feels good on the low back and waist. I do this almost every class just because most people are a bit locked up here from sitting all the time and stuff. And it's also just very important to Qigong, because in Qigong, we really think of most motions are actually coming from this area. So we want to feel lots of mobility here. Go the other direction. All right, come to the center. We're going to isolate it, taking one hand to the solar plexus, that's your upper abdomen, other hand to the lower abdomen, feeling your pelvis. We're basically going to try to isolate the rib cage from the pelvis. So they're obviously connected by the lower spine. So there's going to be lots of motion in the lower spine, but one of these is going to be staying still. So let's say your lower hand is going to stay totally stationary, meaning your pelvis, hips, legs don't move at all. And you'll be able to track that with that lower hand. The upper hand is going to move because your rib cage is going to move. So we're just going to start with left and right. So you're going to shift your rib cage, left and right. You should feel that upper hand moving and the lower hand not moving. Upper hand slides left and right. And what you want to feel is it's really sliding left and right and not tilting left and right. We're not doing this. We're doing this. See, spine sort of stays upright. This really activates some of these core muscles we don't often use. The more control and awareness we have in these muscles, the more we'll be able to mitigate things like back pain. Oftentimes, back pain is just caused by one muscle sort of overworking, muscles that feel more obvious, whereas some of the stabilizer muscles, one of them's too loose, one of them's the nervous system's not communicating with it. We don't know how to use it. And so one muscle winds up doing all the work and becomes very sore and painful as a result. So we really want to be able to use all these muscles. Let's come back to the center. Now, instead of left and right, we're going to go in a circle. So go to one side, come forward, show you from the side, go backwards, side, forward, side, backwards, side, and really still think about that lower hand not moving at all. Still the whole movement's in your rib cage. So you had a hoop around you and you're trying to slide around the inside of that hoop, touching it with the rib cage. It's very good for the lower spine, lower back, but also the digestion, because they're really massaging your digestive organs here with your ribs and hips. Bathroom breaks during Qigong are always encouraged. Always healthier to go when nature calls. Go the other direction. Grinding the tension out of the lower spine, moving stagnation out of the digestive tract. It'll come back to the center, and now the sexy version, we're going to keep the upper hand still, and the lower hand's going to move. So this one's a lot harder because the lower one, your feet are touching the ground, so you kind of have a reference point on the floor. But here we're going to try to keep our shoulders, chest, ribs stationary in one point in space. It's a lot harder because they're not connected to anything. So these are going to stay still, and it's the hips and pelvis that's going to circle. Actually, first we'll just start left and right again. So try to keep the upper body stationary and just shift the pelvis left and right. And then we'll see if we can make it a circle. So we go one side forward, side backwards, side forward, side backwards. And really try to keep the upper body stationary. It's going to be a little imperfect here just because there's nothing to hold it in place like the floor. You're still just going to try your best. Circle the pelvis. Keep your ribs locked in place. This is one of those Qigong moves that really improves your dancing skills. If you got white people hips, this will really help with that. Let's go the other direction. Unlocking lower spine, massaging the digestive organs. Good. Back to the center. Give it a shake. Very nice. All right, we had a request for knees, so let's add that to the list. Bring your feet together. Hands over the knees. Give the knees a circle together. Thrown in that WG40 into the knees. Keep going. Just reading your comments. That's a fun one. What's lambada? Is that a type of dance? Go the other direction with that circle. If this causes any pain in your knees, this might not be for you. So you can just circle the knees with the hands or try making smaller circles. You really don't want to feel any pain in your joints during any Qigong exercises, or really any exercise. We're going to step it back with one foot. Other leg forward, knee bent, hand over the knee again. And we're going to circle just one knee. This one creating a little more work for the leg. Now, doing healthy things for your knees, obviously really good for the knees. But mostly when it comes to joint health, if you're having trouble with a joint, a lot of the times it's just learning to stop hurting it. Sometimes it's like a dietary thing, depositing calcium into the joint. A lot of the time it's just that the way we exercise, the way we walk, the way we're moving is putting unnecessary stress on a joint. A lot of times working with a physical therapist or something just to learn, is there some way you're compensating in your body that's affecting that joint? So we want to do things that are good for the joint, but we mostly want to stop doing the things that are bad for the joint. So figuring out what those are can be a game changer. Other side, circle the knee. If it feels okay, you can make that circle pretty big. Other way. And bring it back up. Shake it out. Very good. All right, let's just get those ankles quickly. Balance on one foot, circle the ankle. Circle other direction. Shake it out. Other side. Circle the foot. Other direction. Shake it out. Okay, let's bring the feet in. Another nice one to really open all the joints, especially in the spine. We'll do our swimming dragon. So here with the feet close together, the knees bent, the palms together. We're going to send our hips left and right. And again, the idea here is going to be to separate the ribs and hips. We're just going to do it a little different. This time we do it with pressing the palms away from the hips. So hips go one way, hands go the other. The idea here is for the hands and arms to pull the rib cage away from the hips. So again, opening that lower spine. And then we basically do the same thing with the neck, turning the head away from the hands. So the rib cage and the head are going opposite directions, opening the spine in between the neck. The swimming dragon represents your spine, the flow of energy through the spine. The spine's got to be nice and open for that to occur. We'll go in more into that swimming. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Keep your knees a little bent. Stay sunk down. The dragon's going to swim. Again, the dragon's your spine, so find your spine nice and fluid here. Crown of the head leading, spine following like a snake swimming through water. Bring the hands up. And reach straight up, stretch up. And we're going to fold and stretch over the legs. I'm going to hold down here for a little bit. Take a couple breaths. And we'll roll it up. Bring the palms back together. We're going to do another round, this time adding a little more detail. So you're bending the knees again. We're going to send the hips to the left, hands to the right. We're going to hold here. And now instead of just going left and right, we're also going to twist these two parts away from each other. So the ribs and hips are going to twist opposite. So the ribs are already sort of doing it. The shoulder, the left shoulder should be pulling forward, the right shoulder back, rotating the ribs to your right. The hips are going to try to rotate the opposite. You're going to pull the left hip forward, or sorry, right hip forward and left hip back. So they go opposite to each other. Let's go to the other side. Here your right shoulder comes forward, left shoulder back. Exaggerate it a little more. Pull that left shoulder back. Pull the left hip forward, right hip back. So we rotate ribs and hips away from each other. Just keep switching sides. Think about it as the shoulder that's forward. That's the way your ribs are rotating. And the hips just go opposite. We'll add the head. The head turns away from the hands, so the head's rotating opposite to the ribs. And think of your hips as though they're following the head. Hips will just turn the same way the head's turning. That's going to help you remember which way to go. So a lot of little pieces to keep track of here. And again, helping that awareness get into your body, get more control of these little stabilizer muscles. Get it back to the center. Again, the dragon will swim. Stay a bit low with the hips. Get nice and fluid along the sides of the spine. We did our wave from front to back earlier. Now we have our side to side wave. Opening the spine. Now we're going to come up. Opening a little more along the ribs and waist here. And reaching straight up, stretch. And again, we'll fold over the legs. This time we're going to bring it a little more into the IT bands or out and outer hamstrings. So IT band's technically not a muscle. It's just a chain of connective tissue along the side of your legs. So we're just going to try to move that stretch a little bit more towards that outer line. What we're going to do is bend the knees. We're going to take our left hand in between our calves and hold the back of the right calf. The left hand holding back of the right calf. Knees are still bent here. You're then going to take your right hand, fold the hand over the low back. So back of the hand on top of your low back. And we're going to fold forward, keeping the left leg bent. Start to straighten your right leg, folding over that right leg. And then start to twist your rib cage and your head and your hips towards the right, looking towards the ceiling over your right shoulder. The idea here is you're basically trying to pull your right hip up away from the right heel, pressing into the floor with that heel, lifting up with that hip. What we're looking for is that stretch coming up the outer right leg. bit of a weird one here. As I said, you kind of got to get funky to stretch that IT band. Just hold and breathe. Stretching this outer line can be really good for low back pain or sciatica as well. Let's release, come to the center, bend both knees again. We're going to switch sides. You're taking the right hand between the legs, hold the back of the left calf. Take the left hand, back of the hand against your lower back. Then we're going to start to straighten the left leg, keeping the right leg a little bent, holding forward, and twist over the left shoulder. Now, if you have trouble with any spinal discs, you're really going to want to keep your spine straight here. So instead of kind of rounding forward and twisting, you're going to come up a little higher. You can take the hand higher too, and keep a straight spine as you twist. It actually stresses those spinal discs a little bit when we forward fold and twist. So keep a straight spine if you're going to twist. Breathe into it. And we're going to release, roll it back up, step it back out. I'll just one more time briefly find our hip circles. Turning that flexibility into mobility. Other direction. Come to the center. We'll just get the neck, shoulders, arms one more time. This one we make the crane's beak, touching fingers and thumbs. Curl that in like you're trying to touch your wrist. Press down and away with the back of the hands. Lift your chest, lift the top of your head, tuck your chin. We're looking for this stretch going down around the back of the arms to the back of the hand. And again, we're going to bring it into the neck by leaning the head over to one side, just giving the head a slow nod over the shoulder. So you can make your breath here, inhaling back, exhaling forward. Nice deep, slow breaths. Keep going. Drop it down, come across. Somebody in the comments is asking, what gap should there be between doing Qigong and eating? And I think it's probably not a great idea to eat immediately before Qigong. You don't really want like a full stomach while you're trying to move around and put your stomach below your hips and forward folds and stuff. So I would eat at least half an hour before practice, maybe an hour, depending how quick your digestion is. For me, I used to have really, really weak digestion. I'd have acid reflux and stuff all the time. So I had to eat like 2 or 3 hours before practicing, which was a real big pain in the butt. But after practice, it doesn't really matter. You can eat right away or not eat if you don't need to eat. But Qigong does sort of rev up your metabolism and your digestive power. So probably a good idea to eat after and make use of that. I don't know about you guys. I get pretty hungry after Qigong a lot of the time. Good. Shake it out. Let's shake the whole body. Just releasing tension, stress from the whole body. Big part of the theory of Qigong and all these body-based practices is that our stress, our psychological stress and emotions and traumas and everything are not really just in our brain, but they're throughout our body, throughout our musculature, throughout our fascia or internal organs. And so the way that we release our stress and all that is through the body. Think here as we shake, the muscles are releasing anything stuck, pent up, stuff we're holding on to. And you can use your breath symbolically to let that go, breathing out the mouth. Big sighs out the mouth. Good. We'll slow that down. Pause. Feel your body. Sometimes a little buzzing lingers after that. Good. Feet under the shoulders, as usual. We'll end with our little moving meditation, which we call flow. But here, starting with our Tai Chi opening. Here, exhale the hands down. Inhale the hands up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Here, all the breath is through the nose, nice and slow. We're going to bring it down into Wuji. Palms are face down, just slightly in front of the hips. It's as though if you were to lean forward, it's as though your hands were on two balloons on top of the surface of a lake. And if you were to lean forward, it's like the balloons would sort of catch you and you could push yourself up on the buoyancy of those balloons. So we have just a slight lean forward here, knees soft, tailbone dropping, chin tucking back, chest relaxing, shoulder blades relaxed down your back. Fingers are spread but not tense. Just hold here for a few breaths. Use these postures to build the chi, build a structure in the body that conducts and generates energy. If you're not used to these, they tend to feel pretty difficult and tedious. Our patience tends to wear thin pretty quickly. The more you practice them, the more you feel that energy generate. It's as though the energy is holding the body in the position like the fullness of the balloons, rather than a whole lot of muscular effort and discomfort. A couple more breaths. And from here, we'll take the left palm face forward. We'll do the flow from the video I just posted this morning. This flow can take a little getting used to. It has a little cross-lateral left brain, right brain activity going on. So often the first time, this is a bit challenging. But once you get the flow, it feels really good. So the left palm is face forward, right palm face towards the earth. We're just going to turn the hips and waist a little bit to our right. And we're just going to switch the hands. So now left palm down, right palm up. And then just turn our hips back forward. We turn to the left, switch the hands, left palm up, right palm down, and turn back forward. It's a very robotic version of what we're trying to do here. We're going to turn, switch the hands, turn back. Turn, switch the hands, turn back. So this movement comes from Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a martial art that is often practiced incredibly slowly. It becomes sort of a meditation. But basically all the movements, you can see the martial arts application. So as we turn here, the sweep is as though someone were trying to kick us low. So we're coming down and sweeping their leg away. The other hand comes back and pushes them away. It's like someone's trying to kick us in the thigh. We sweep their leg away to block the kick. They come forward and return our own strike. So that knowledge is really just to help you understand the movement. You don't have to pretend you're fighting someone, because what we want it to become is a relaxing meditation. So we're going to use our breath in harmony with this. Taking an inhale as we turn and do 2 half circles with the arms. And an exhale as we turn back as though we're gently pushing forward from the shoulder. So we inhale, turn, 2 half circles. And exhale, forward as though we do a slight gentle push from the shoulder. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, again, all through the nose. Exhale through the nose. I'll show you a little bit from the side. You'll see there is a slight push. My hand starts a little closer to the shoulder and pushes slightly as we come forward, but not quite extending all the way. It stays soft. Hand in closer to the shoulder, and then slightly extending the elbow as you come forward. As you turn, you're going to think of the weight really going into the one heel, and then like the power from the earth comes up from that heel and out through the arm. So it's like we anchor into the earth through the heel, and then the power comes up from the earth, up the leg, up through the torso, and ends at the palm. I feel like the power here coming from the leg, quad, foot, expanding through the body. This is what generates and moves the chi here. Inhale, circle. Exhale, earth energy pulses up, expands, and fills the body. See if we can slow it down another 20%. Slower breath, slower motion. Slowness is really what anchors the mind in the body. And last one. Come back, pause here, holding this as a posture. We're going to imagine that we're looking out over the ocean at sunrise or sunset, depending what time of day it is for you. Imagine that sun is at the horizon or near the horizon, and golden light is streaming into that palm. The body's absorbing that golden light, filling with vitality and warmth. Lower hand like it's catching the sunlight bouncing off the ocean, more yin cooling energy. We fill up with that yin and yang of fire and water, sun and ocean. Let's pause for a few breaths. Finding balance and harmony. Slowly turn the hands to a chi ball. Feel like we gather all that golden light into the hands. And then turn back to our brush knee twist position with the other side now. Left palm gathering the sunlight, right palm gathering the energy of the ocean, the mist, the sunlight sparkling off the ocean. Turn it to the Qi ball. Compress the ball, finding a ball of golden light and pulling it into the dantian. Releasing, and we're just going to pull down the sky. We're going to exhale, draw the hands downwards through the body. Inhale, reach back towards the sky. That's helping the Qi to sink, just like when warm air gathers in a room and rises to the ceiling. We turn on that ceiling fan to circulate that warm air downwards. Same thing as we build Qi in the body, we want to always help it with the sinking nature at the end. If you ever feel pressure in your head or headaches or insomnia after doing Qigong, it means you've built a lot of Qi, but you haven't circulated it properly or helped it to sink. So really focusing a little extra on these types of motions at the end would be really helpful for that. And we're going to step it in. Bamboo in the wind, fold the hands over the lower abdomen. Feet close together to intentionally throw us off balance a little bit, so that as we relax through the body, it starts to rock and sway naturally. Just relax your body, soft, gentle breath through the nose. Now the breath just natural. As we let the breath be natural, and the body to relax and naturally sway, we use this as a metaphor for allowing our emotions, our thoughts, our energy to also just flow and change and transform naturally and spontaneously. For our awareness to become just the calm observer, the space in which all those experiences are happening, rather than identifying with the changing nature of the mind and emotions. Just learn to watch, be present, spacious and detached. Just for a few more breaths. You're gonna step back out, shoulder width. Give the belly a circle going clockwise, meaning up the right side, down the left side. And even finding a little weight shift here, where we shift the weight to the side of where the hands are. So the hands are on the right, the weight's on the right. So the hands are on the left, the weight's on the left. We're keeping our spine upright, so we're not kind of leaning left and right. It's just a shift of the center of gravity. That's just helping, again, to pump and circulate the energy we built, and particularly to help it to sink and store at the lower abdomen. We call the dantian, or the elixir field. We store a reservoir of vitality and form an anchor for the mind and heart. Center that just below the navel. Take a big, deep breath in. We're going to let it all out the mouth. Release, let your energy spread. I always like to end with just giving a little stretch, just feel you can copy me or just really feel intuitively how your body wants to move or stretch, move the joints or twist. Or even if someone's calling out for a little massage, often the face wants to move the lymphatic fluid, the eyes, or there's a little muscular tension or the Qi is getting a little stuck. Your body just wants a little help moving that through. You can really kind of feel it intuitively using padding. And there's more formal things you can do, but I like to encourage you to really feel in your body where's the Qi built up and is getting a little stuck, and where can we help it along. Call this dispersing the Qi at the end of practice. Anyways, Thanks for joining, everybody. Always so fun to do this. Thanks, Bevan, following me over here from Instagram. Or did you follow me on Instagram from here? I don't know. Bevan's a famous actress. She plays in the Batwoman series on TV. It's all right, you guys. You can get my autograph later. I know I'm a Qigong teacher to the stars. Paul says, gutted, I'm going to have to dash now. You're lucky I understand the word gutted because I watch British reality TV. Internet getting glitchy. That sucks. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, everybody. I got to run. Give Sarah a ride to work. Thanks, everybody on TikTok who joined me. Sorry, it's harder to see your comments on this little screen. But anyways, if anybody's interested, today's the last day to get the super early bird discount on my Qigong teacher training, which starts in September. So if you want a big discount, 25% off, you can use code JEDI25 at checkout. Link is below in the description here on YouTube. And yeah, also the discount code's written down there. So today's the last day to get it. So get it while you can, but otherwise still lots of time to sign up. Just today's the last day to get the biggest discount you're going to get on it. We had a really good time all spring doing the first round of teacher training. We had about 40 people or something sign up, which really surprised me. I thought there'd be like 3 or 4 people or something. We had 40 people join, and it was all online, and it was super, super fun. I think we all made a lot of new friends and stuff, and it was a really good time. And I think they knew they were my guinea pigs, so I ironed out some of the kinks in doing it for the first time. So the second time is probably going to be even better. So we'd be excited to see you guys join, but if not, no worries. I'm actually coming out with a new e-course if you want to just learn Qigong without teaching it, making an e-course with YMAA, and that's going to be available on DVD, actually. Or did you guys know DVDs were still a thing? But it's going to be available in every Walmart, Target, and library in at least America. So I don't know how that happened. I think they found me on YouTube, and they were like, oh, this guy's YouTube's really cool. He has cameras. He can make DVDs without us having to give him any money. So that'll come out soon, and it'll also be available online. So if you want a really thorough Qigong e-course, that'll be out soon too. But anyways, super good seeing you guys. I got to run. But this happens every week, so catch me same time next week.